Now at 10, we are still tracking some light snow showers, which are going to continue to roll through tonight. I'll have those details.
Plus, everyone should try to avoid the roads, but for those who can't, like first responders, the Joplin man is offering a safe ride. And Fort Scott girls basketball is climbing up the rankings after a couple of rough years.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
With more snow and temperatures dipping even further, we're still days away from relief from the winter weather. This is KOAM News at 10. Doug Heddy joins us with a first look at the weather.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember. Just 3 days ago, we were almost 70 degrees for a high, and then things really went downhill. Of course, we had freezing rain, sleet, and snow 2 nights ago. Last night, we had more snow, and the heaviest on the Missouri side, Arkansas, and then back through northeastern Oklahoma, especially along the I-44 corridor, but 7 to 9 inches, and then 5 to 7 in southeastern Kansas. And the dark blue are northwestern counties, the least amounts of snow, but still 3-4 inches up in Wilson, Woodson County, and up toward Iola and also Chanute. All the heavy snow worked out of here during the morning hours, and then it was pretty calm most of the day, but look at the light snow showers which continue to work back in. And some of these bands, we have some moderate snow. Everything else is just really light. We're not going to get a whole bunch of accumulation out of this as we go through the overnight hours, but we could see areas that get a dusting to 1/2 inch, maybe upwards of 1 inch near the state line of Missouri and also Arkansas. So I'm going to break this down. We're going to look ahead here in just a bit.
See you then. The snow and ice caused some 4-staters to lose power temporarily, but at this point, not many. Officials with the Carthage Water and Electric plant say they had around 10 customers lose power. They said the best thing you can do is be prepared.
Get your blankets out, maybe get a flashlight out so you can see the ground around your house, emergency kit in case you have it, candles so you could have another heat source or something to get around, and contact your local utility provider.
Officials also recommend having plenty of food and water in case of emergency. Let's take a live look at a MoDOT camera. It shows Interstate 44 in the Saginaw area near Joplin. The MoDOT website tonight lists I-44 as partly snow covered throughout southwestern Missouri. The interstate is completely snow covered to the east. Not much traffic as you see at the moment. With some areas getting more snow and temperatures still dropping, roads will not improve tonight. KOAM Shannon Becker has the latest on conditions.
Thanks guys, I'm Shannon Becker. We're at the Joplin KOAM studios and the busiest intersection in town, 7th and Range Line. Let's take a look at the road conditions around the area. Range Line, it's not too bad. 7th Street, a little bit more clear. It's a busy road as well, but when you get to Main Street, completely snow covered, and underneath that snow is going to be ice. And they continue to work on Apple Road on that tractor trailer rollover with 41,000 pounds of dried food that has to be offloaded before it can be set up right. They're hoping maybe by midnight they might be done with that. So in the morning, give your car plenty of time to warm up. I predict a lot more people will be going to work, even though the kids will be at home still studying for school. I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News Now.
Shannon needs to get someplace warm. To find updated conditions on highways in each of the 4 states, click on the roads link at KOAMnewsnow.com. A former first responder is helping area hospital, EMS, and other emergency workers get home safely. Before moving to this area, Kyle Kugler was a volunteer firefighter in Virginia. Says he loved playing a key part in helping the community. Well, now in Joplin, he's doing that in another way by giving first responders a free ride home amid this winter weather.
I've had some people call about getting picked up from the hospital for their evening shifts and making sure they can get home if they feel like they can't get home at all. And I've had some people just call and just check in and say thank you so much for what you're doing and everything. And it's been a real blessing to try and be able to help out.
He says he's already had a few people call him to arrange a ride home from work. The nasty weather isn't just here. It's affecting large swaths of the U.S. from Texas to the East Coast. Chris Van Cleve has the latest from Dallas, where ice and frigid temperatures are causing a host of problems.
as the winter storm plowed into Texas.
I've never seen snowflakes this big in Texas, so it's pretty amazing.
Icy power lines and fallen tree limbs knocked out electricity to thousands.
We are dealing with one of the most significant icing events that we've had in the state of Texas in at least several decades.
Freezing snow made driving treacherous across much of the state.
It's extremely slick. The highways are not very well traveled right now.
Thousands of flights across the Midwest were canceled. Workers at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport spent the day clearing the runways and de-icing planes.
I'm worried about spending the night here. That's why we're trying to find a place to sleep tonight.
Snowplows were out in full force on the streets of South Bend, Indiana, and in communities across a wide swath of the nation's midsection. A multi-vehicle accident involving 3 semis snarled traffic along Interstate 70 in Missouri. Few ventured out as snow fell in downtown Cleveland, and more snow is expected. The storm even spawned a deadly tornado outbreak in Alabama. Back in Dallas, kids made the most of the snow day with a little help from gravity, while one used another force of nature to get around on it. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Dallas.
Limited flights have resumed at Dallas-Fort Worth, but nationwide close to 2,000 flights have already been canceled for tomorrow, mostly in the Northeast. Still ahead, the number of COVID cases nationwide is trending down, but health experts aren't ready to ease restrictions. We're going to find out why. And U.S. oil prices reach a nearly decade-long high. The U.S. is now averaging more than 385,000 new COVID-19 cases daily, according to Johns Hopkins University. That's a drop of 37% since last week. And that has some health experts rethinking the benchmark used to measure the state of COVID-19. Jen Sullivan has a look at why federal health officials are not ready to ease restrictions despite the encouraging numbers.
Growing signs that the U.S. could be ready to ease COVID-19 restrictions and start moving back toward normal.
I can't tell you exactly when, but there are more and more positive indicators each day that tell us we are making progress to that final goal.
The average number of new daily cases is down 37% since last week and is trending down in all but one state, Alabama. And as the Omicron variant appears to be receding, some health experts are asking whether it's time to roll back some COVID-19 restrictions and end mask mandates. On Wednesday, the White House declined to say when the administration would offer a clear plan to transition out of the pandemic, with the CDC director saying she's cautiously optimistic.
We really do have to look to our hospitalization rates and our death rates to look to when is time to lift some of these mitigation efforts. We will continue to reevaluate, and we know people are anxious.
However, CDC data shows the average daily number of COVID-19 deaths is up 6% from a week ago. And while hospitalizations are down 15%, health experts say the rates are still high and could threaten capacity at some hospitals across the country.
This is a virus that's still adapting to people, and people need to adapt to the virus.
And as a new report finds, unvaccinated people are 97 times more likely to die of COVID than those with a booster dose. Health officials reiterate the best protection against coronavirus is vaccinations.
Data are really stunningly obvious why a booster is really very important.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Many counties and cities in the U.S. rely on coronavirus transmission rates to determine whether to ease COVID-19 restrictions and when to change their recommended safety guidelines. Medicare will start paying for some at-home COVID-19 tests. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announced that move yesterday. The option should become available in early spring. The tests will have to be purchased at participating pharmacies and retailers. The agency plans to release a list of those businesses when the coverage begins. Until then, the government suggests Medicare enrollees order free tests through the federal program, covidtests.gov. 36 million senior citizens and Americans with disabilities receive health care coverage under the traditional Medicare program. Roughly 28 million are enrolled in Medicare Advantage. U.S. oil prices jumped above $90 a barrel today for the first time since 2014. Prices saw a 37% increase from December when the country was experiencing low prices due in part to Omicron concerns. OPEC said it'll continue to modestly increase oil production but Wall Street believes OPEC could do more to meet demand and calm surging energy prices. Later, the Fort Scott girls basketball team is having a turnaround year and are climbing to the top of the rankings.
Plus some more snow showers sticking around for us tonight. I'll give you those details coming up. Well, it's been a couple nasty days across the four-state area with the wintry weather that we've had in place, and it's still pretty nasty out there right now. The roads are still in pretty rough shape. It's cold temperatures into the teens, and we've had about 48 hours of on and off wintry weather. Snowfall today in Joplin, 6.25 inches. It was really hard to measure because of the drifts. You couldn't use a ruler, so I had to use the estimated radar amounts and then kind of do the conversions with our liquid to snow ratio. It's math I don't like to do anymore, but that's what we ended up with. For the season, we're just shy of 12 inches. That is our average. I forecasted 13, and it looks like we're going to go above that because we do have a few more snow events that we are going to have to deal with through the month of February into early March. Heaviest snow, southwestern Missouri, 7 to 9 inches down through Arkansas and back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma, 5 to 7 in the dark blue band, mainly on the Kansas side. Lighter amounts, the system kind of underperformed just a little bit out toward Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, Fredonia, and Neodesha, a little bit less than what I thought was going to fall out in our western counties. Heaviest snow heading out. We have light snow showers, which have been working in over the past couple hours. You can see them increasing just a bit. These have mainly just been kind of going sideways. They haven't accumulated too much, a dusting to 1/4 of an inch in spots, but a little heavier band now working into the southwestern side of the viewing area. So where you see the darker blues, that's actually moderate snow, but it's so dry. The atmosphere is so dry out there. We're not getting the snow that it looks like we're getting on the radar because a lot of it is evaporating before it hits the ground. But we are going to get some light accumulations, especially with these heavier bands as they work through over the next couple hours. So you can see snow showers, Pittsburgh, and then over toward Jasper County up near Lamar. And then southwest Missouri looks pretty good. And then picking back up northeastern Oklahoma out toward Independence, Coffeyville, and Sedan. We have this last little wave that's kind of shooting to our south. So it's going to give us these light snow showers as we go through about the next 3 or 4 hours, and then we are done. All of our heavy snow from earlier is racing off toward the north and to the east. All right, let's go through time. You can see these light snow showers. Here's 1:30 in the morning. By about 3 o'clock, most of these are gone. Temperatures dipping back into the upper single digits for overnight lows. So accumulations additional with these light snow showers, about a dusting to 1/2 an inch. There may be some areas that get near an inch in our southern counties, but most of us about a dusting to 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, so not a whole bunch more snow, which is good news. All right, temps right now sitting into the mid-teens. We have this northeasterly wind kicking in, so of course you get the wonderful wind chill, making it feel colder than what it actually is. Wind chill factor is anywhere from about 0 to about 5 degrees on average across the region. These will actually drop below 0 later on tonight. So we're going to get rid of this storm system. If we go out toward the west, a whole lot of nothing. That's our weather over the next few days. We actually get to calm down just a bit as we get rid of this storm system. We're going to have clouds early in the morning. They break up. We see sunshine. It's going to be cold, but at least we get the sun back outside, something we haven't seen in a few days. 6 to start, 22 by noon, high temp at 27. Westerly winds light at 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, with a little bit of melting tomorrow, the moisture on the ground, here comes the fog. So it's going to be patchy, thick fog probably the next 2 or 3 nights until we get rid of the snow. And then we do jump above freezing by the time we head into the weekend. 36 Saturday, 40 on Sunday, 37 on Monday. In a week, we're back near 60 degrees, so a pretty good swing over the next 7 days.
And it was in the 70s, what?
Just 3 days ago. Yeah, crazy.
Nice to see the sun tomorrow.
Yes, it will be.
Thanks, Doug. The American Journal of Emergency Medicine says an average of 11,500 people a year are injured shoveling snow. Before you get shoveling, make sure your form is correct and you're not overdoing it. Abby Taylor has that story.
winter weather can be a pain, literally, from shoveling to even slipping on the ice.
If you're slipping and falling, it's easier just to let yourself go down.
Chiropractor Dr. Philip Lloyd with Cherry Health Center says if you take a tumble, try to protect your head.
That quick, sudden movement you can injure yourself without even falling.
When it comes to shoveling, proper form will save you an injury.
One action, bend over, shoveling, and twisting. High probability of low back problem.
Instead, try this.
Is pick up the snow, squat just a little bit, and use your legs to pick it up. And then turn with your legs and toss it.
Lloyd says a small or ergonomic shovel will do the trick too.
An ergonomic handle. Not one that's straight, but one that goes out and angles down, because then you don't have to bend to get it. You can actually a little shovel and just pick it over.
If you have a heart condition,
we bundle up too much, we get out there and get hot, and we can have a cardiovascular accident, if you will. So dress more modestly and do it 5 minutes at a time.
And his biggest piece of advice:
find a teenager and call them. Actually call their parents. Don't call the teenager and tell their parents, hey, your teenager want to make $25, be the best $25 you've ever spent.
Might cost you more than $25, kind of depends on the size of your drive. Now, if you do get out and shovel this week, remember what Dr. Lloyd said. You squat a little, pick up the snow, stand, then walk to dump it. Try and avoid bending, lifting, and then twisting your back to dump it. That can hurt. Coming up in sports, an All-American linebacker decides to return to Pitt State for one more season. And the Fort Scott girls cracked the top 10 in the state rankings after their hot start to the season. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Fort Scott High School girls basketball team is enjoying quite the turnaround. At this time last season, the Tigers were 2-11 through 13 games. Now this season through 13, they're 10-3 and tied for first place in the SEK with a 5-1 league record. And not only that, but this week they find themselves in the top 10 in the state in the Class 4A rankings. So they're having some success, but that success is the product of what they went through together last season.
Those tough times we had last year gave our girls a taste of what we needed to do this summer and how we needed to come together and how we need to build on that foundation coming into the season. I think that's what we've done thus far.
It's awesome knowing that people are finally recognizing what we've done this season and where it's got us so far. People are going to want to beat us now, just like how we've wanted to beat other people.
Well, Pittsburgh State football announced its 2022 recruiting class on Wednesday, but we also learned All-American linebacker P.J. Sarwinski will use the COVID year and return for one more season for the Gorillas. Now, Sarwinski led the team with 84 tackles last season, including 12 tackles for loss and 3.5 sacks. Also had an interception and 2 pass breakups. The Galena High School product was first-team All-MIAA and an All-American. He'll finish his master's degree in May and had planned on last season being his final season. Now, he said what played into his decision this offseason was talking to his coaches and teammates.
I didn't want to say, I can't come back to guys like, Brandon Malikas and Adam Smith, Nate Woods, Bryce Murphy, Elijah Harris. Those guys, we have been, we've been going through it since fall of 2017. We've been here at day one, and I didn't want to say no to them, and they definitely didn't want me to say no to them. So, I think that has a lot to do with it for sure.
What a huge bonus for us this year to be able to get PJ back coming off a All-American season that he had. And not only that, but just the leadership that he brings to our football team, to our program. And we couldn't be more excited to have PJ back.
You can check out our full story with PJ and his decision to return on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Kansas City Chiefs are losing quarterbacks coach Mike Kafka. The Giants have hired Kafka to be their new offensive coordinator. Now, Kansas City could be losing another assistant. Maybe, I don't know, we've done this like a dozen times the last 4 years. Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy expected to interview for the Saints head coaching job this week. Listen to this. It'll be his 12th head coaching interview in the last 4 years. Now, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Corporal Ernest Kaufman served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Pittsburgh. And we are proud to salute Corporal Ernest Kaufman, tonight's four-state hero. This is Benny, an 8-year-old rescue Labrador with a special talent for ice skating, sort of. He took his custom skates out for a twirl in New York to raise money for the Animal Vision Foundation. Look at that. Benny has performed at skating events all over the U.S., raising money for charity and helping kids with autism. He was rescued on his last day at a kill shelter in Utah. His owner says he loves to run out on the ice and chase after her, and now he wants it. He can do it whenever he wants, and it's all for a good cause. Benny has also won the American Kennel Club Exemplary Companion Award for his ability to put smiles on people's faces. Looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
It's great to see dogs experience snow for the first time.
It is funny.
My dog loves the snow, man. She just loves to bounce through all the high drifts and stuff. She just looks like she's having the time of her life.
Yeah, both my dogs love it. Now, the little one, he only wants to be out there for about 30 seconds. But my German Shepherd, he'll just lay in there like it's 80 degrees.
My daughter has a couple of dogs who grew up in Florida, and they're experiencing snow for the first time. Yes, they are having a great time. The weather is going to stay cold for another day or two or three.
It is a cold night for us tonight. The light snow showers, some minor accumulations. 27 tomorrow, at least we get back to the sun. And then we get above freezing as we head into the weekend. So over the weekend, we'll start doing some serious melting.
Final sports notes.
Former Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Doug Peterson, also he won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, has been named the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you tonight with a look at some of the snow fun in the 4 states. Be careful out there, and let's make it a great tomorrow.